This did not happen by accident. This happened by design. This happened by a cultural design, a spiritual design, a moral design, a social design, which was equated to modernity. In India, if that idea of modernity failed, if this concept of development was not accepted, if this nation resisted this, it is because of the spiritual moorings of India. Even today, a teacher in a village commands more respect than an MLA. I'll tell you a small incident in my life. There was a huge caste war between two communities in 1990, I think, in Madurai and other surrounding areas. We in Indian Express decided to find out what is the reason for the caste war. And when we sent our reporters, the villagers did not allow them to get in. Politicians could not get in. Police people could not get in. Then we went and approached some of the sannyasis. And you know, the people who were at the height of their anger and revenge, when the Swamijis came, they went and touched the feet and allowed them inside. And you know, even policemen had to go in mufti behind the sannyasis. The country respects only those who renounce in this country. And see the values built. As a result, if you see in India, how culture and spiritual and moral values build economics in India. Our savings to GDP ratio was 23% in 1991. And when everybody thought that if Indians' income increase, Indians, like any other society, will begin spending more. And so multinational companies came and set up shops in India, hoping to sell goods. And the Indian housewives, they were more intelligent than the multinational companies. They sang the advertisement songs but did not buy the goods. And with the result today, the savings to GDP ratio in India is 39%. From 23% savings to GDP ratio has returned. And in the last 20 years, 19 years, if you look at what is the amount of foreign investment India needed, and how much is the foreign investment India got, I have seen many policy makers telling, Guru, you should not oppose these foreign investment policies. Without foreign investment, India can never grow. We cannot build bridges, we cannot build roads, we cannot rebuild railways, and so we need foreign investment. You know what is the position today? In 19 years, if you look at the total investment that has taken place in India, only 2% savings has come, investment has come from outside, and that too largely in the stock market. And today Goldman Sachs, which is possibly the top banking institution in the world, they have come out with a report that till 2025, India will have a savings to GDP ratio of 40%, and India will not be needing $1 of investment from abroad to develop this country. You know why this strength? Where does this strength come from? Where does this forbearance come from? This is because of the non-aggressive consumption. It is because of careful savings, moderation in lifestyle. It is because of that. Where does all this come from? It is only rooted in the spiritual values of India. When Swami Vivekananda said that India will assume the leadership of the world, I am seeing Bharat Mata rising and ruling this world, and he had the vision. And today, if many foreign think tanks are saying India will assume the leadership of the world, it is not just in terms of GDP. It is not in terms of trade. It is not in terms of military might. India is perhaps the country third largest army in the world. It is a nuclear power. And its aerospace capacity to conquer through its space technology, it is the 5th largest space technologist in the world. We have the largest scientific manpower. You know, there is in the Government of India website, there is an audit of the Government of India budget. In the year 2005, they put out a report that India will be producing annually 25 lakhs of graduates, 5 lakh engineers, which will be twice the amount of talent that China will be producing and 10 times the talent America will be producing. This is fundamentally because we have preserved our lifestyle, our character, our morality. Despite all the things that we see, which we write in the newspapers, I am also a writer, Vaidyanathan is also a writer, what the newspaper publishes is not the true India. Simply, if you read the newspapers, you will think India is the country with a great crime rate and all that. You know, you look at the Human Development Report produced by UNDP. That gives the statistics of countries with crime rates. And it says, per 100,000 population, how many serious criminals are there in a country? Per 100,000 population, serious crimes, 680, United States of America. And then 650, 630, 500, 400, 300, 200, 100, 50, 20. India is the last country with just 4 serious crimes per 100,000 population. Our police official is sitting here. For 7 lakh villages in India, there are only 12,404 police stations till 2004 December. Maybe another 200 might have been added in this period. And in fact, he spoke the other day. Do you mean to say because of police officials like me, there is no crime in this city? There is no crime in this city because there are temples. There is Kapalishwar temple. There is Mongadu temple. It is these gods which make India safe. No police official anywhere in the world will utter this statement. That is why I said the man is basically a spiritualist and a philosopher. This is India. India is not what the newspapers say. The newspapers will say what has not happened or cannot happen. For example, if dogs bite human beings, no newspaper will write. If a human being bites the dog, the newspaper will write. Let us assume in Madras one mad man bit a dog. Man bites dog in Chennai. Next day, seeing this, another man bites the dog in Coimbatore. Man bites dog in Coimbatore. Let us assume the third day, somebody in Trichy bites the dog. In 1 week, if 7 such incidents are there, the newspapers will make it appear dogs have stopped biting human beings and human beings have started biting the dog. You know, in statistics, there is a principle called wrong sampling. The newspapers all over the world adopt wrong sampling. By wrong samples, define the character of a society. You know, all the wrong things that have happened in a society in India,